You want shirts? I got shirts.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
Mother Nature must have planned Fox as a boy. The fidgety, personality-packed troublemaker always kept her parents on their toes. She used to ditch her arts and crafts lessons, so popular among all the other young ladies, and her mom and dad eventually resigned themselves to the fact that they would never see their youngest offspring in a wedding dress. You'd have to be crazy to propose to her, right? By her race's standards, Fox was no great beauty either. Her ears were too tiny, her body was too hairless. What? What? The girl knew this, so she made it a point to get on everyone's nerves with her stubborn and shocking behavior. At first, women laughed at her antics, but soon enough, the respect and support that Fox earned from their male counterparts made them stop chuckling. Little boys, young lads, mature men, and old geezers alike, they all followed Fox's shenanigans with ceaseless interest. Why? Because nobody could handle weapons quite like the mischievous girl. She handcrafted at least 3 dozen different gunpowder-using weapons and self-propelled cannons. Unfortunately, since Fox's homeland hadn't seen war for more than 700 years, the only use people found for her inventions was to distribute pest-killing poison in their gardens, trigger avalanches, and scare off mountain trolls. What's more, Fox's weapons were never as popular as her sister Annie's devices. Annie outdid Fox in everything, except for weapons, of course. Armament was outside of her sphere of interest. She considered weapon making a pastime solely for men, and also quite pointless in a time with no war. At the time, that is. Dun dun dun! One night, the whole city was startled awake by a dreadful thundering and the smell of something burning. The streets shook with a rhythmic pounding, as though an unbelievably huge giant had come through town, crushing everything in its path. As it so happened, that was exactly it. Panic broke out. Everyone screaming and running, mothers rushing to save their babies. Fox, though, simply stood at her window, warming up her tiny hands. It didn't even occur to her that, deeply asleep in her special new earplugs, Annie was snoozing peacefully in the next room. Something exploded out on the street, and several trees crashed down noisily. Men were dragging their belongings away from the debacle, and some even began to fight over each other's possessions. Trying not to wake her sister and quietly whistling a popular tune to herself, Fox carefully started down the stairs to the workshop. There was a deafening roar, and a house 3 blocks away from Fox crumbled under the weight of the never-before-seen monster. Dust filled the air of the whole neighborhood, making the steps of the killer beast even more ominous. Annie, still asleep, stretched, smacked her lips, and turned over in her bed. The earplugs stayed right there where they were supposed to be, protecting the girl's delicate hearing from all sounds. Fox put on her gloves, grabbed a heavy bucket, and filled it with strange black powder. The house across was burning. The monster had broken through the gas pipes her sister Annie crafted with such love and care. What a dunce, thought Fox, pulling down the sheet covering a strange giant structure hidden in a dark corner. Then the fearless girl opened the door of her workshop. The monster's hot breath burned her cheek. It took her a minute to load the Stormbreaker, her newest super heavy weapon, with black powder and take aim. And then she fired. The monster let out a horrible howl, clutched at its humongous stomach, crashing right into a wall of their lovely house, and dropped dead. The dust kicked up after the fall made Annie sneeze in her sleep, of course. That sneeze finally woke her up. Annie glanced around, her eyes still half closed, and took in the picture before her, the destroyed town, the defeated monster, the cheering townsfolk. Then she sneezed once more and fell right back asleep. The news of what Fox and her miracle weapon had accomplished traveled far beyond the town, reaching the ears of Emperor Ingvar himself. He invited the brave engineer to the capital and appointed her to a squad of valiant guardians. Here, finally, was somewhere Fox could really let herself go. What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero Wars Central, and today's video is going to be a little bit about the story of the hero Fox. Now, obviously, you just listened to me tell the story, the lore tab, the lore article from NextersGlobal, and on screen I have a picture of where I read that story from. It wasn't my story, of course. It was a Hero Wars original story, and I will have the link to that story in the description box down below. But from there, what I like to do is I like to talk about the hero a little bit more in detail. This isn't going to be your tier list discussion. This is just going to be a little chat about her and what and you know just a little culture around the hero fox. If you want to check out how I feel about her as far as tier list, there is a video that I've already put out about where I feel that she lands in my tier list, and also some team fight videos, so check those out. First of all, how do you get fox? Well, it looks like I can evolve her, so I should probably do that. You can get fox from the campaign. You can see here on Facebook I have 3 story missions that I have access to here, and you can also get her from the heroic chest. She is listed on here as an eligible hero to get from the heroic chest. She's a pretty straightforward, easy to get hero is what I'm trying to get at. And her role is a marksman, marksperson, markswoman. She fights in the back line, and her main stat is agility. She's got 4 great skills that are really built around helping the heavy caliber skill here that does it's a tank knockback. It's also a stun and blind as well. Concussion will make heavy caliber stun, and smokescreen will make heavy caliber blind the front row. So very strong anti-physical attack, anti-front line hero. Pretty interesting hero. She's got 3 skins. Of course, the default skin is agility. Winter skin is a nice little candy cane with a candy cane gun, and then the spring skin, which is probably my favorite. It's got a little fox here on top of the gun. Fox's tail is what is keeping the gun afloat, and I just think it's really fantastic. This skin is probably my favorite skin by far. As far as her glyphs are concerned, she's got physical attack, armor penetration, which is important for a hero, critical hit chance, and agility. So she's one of the very few heroes in this game, and there are very few, I think there's 2 to 3, that has both critical hit and armor penetration. All right, a little lack of focus there, if you ask me, but that's okay. Her hits can crit, her hits can penetrate armor. Good stuff there. Her artifact is armor penetration, and I believe she's one of 2 heroes, maybe 3, that can provide armor penetration to the whole team. So she's a great supporting hero as well as a great single hero on her own. There are heroes that do better damage, but her book is armor penetration, physical attack, and her ring is agility. So as far as leveling up her artifacts, I would start with the book. If it were me, I would probably go ahead and evolve the shrapnel cannon to 3-star, so you can get up to the 100% chance to activate the ability. But I would definitely want to level up this armor penetration, physical attack glyph first, and that kind of goes along with her glyphs. I would level up armor penetration and critical hit first. With most attacking heroes, you want to level up their glyphs, skins, artifacts, etc. that increase damage. Now, since she's a little bit more of a support, it matters a little bit less, but still, she is a physical damage dealer. You want to level those things up. For skins, I would probably just stick with her default skin for a while. If you could get her winter skin and spring skin, that's fine too. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Fox. Aesthetically, she's not been one of my favorite heroes, but I'm starting to come around to her just because she is effective against the Kira teams that seem to be popping up a lot on mobile. My server doesn't really have any of those Kira teams. So I don't really need her as much, but you might need her a lot. Just so the question you got to ask yourself is, do I go up against a lot of Kira teams in the arena? And if I do, then, what can I do to counter them? And an answer could be Fox. Could be. Never know. With that being said, guys, I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to go ahead and link to my Jorgen story video, as I think that was a really well done video. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, how you feel about this style of video. If you want me to continue doing them or not. I find them kind of interesting. I really like the story behind the heroes. I don't feel like the game itself does a good enough job explaining the story, like who Cornelius is, who Fox is, where does Kark come from, what is Martha's connection with Cornelius, different things like that, just different fun things like that. So I love you all. Good luck in Dominion.